Hey everybody, it's Chuggaaconroy. Welcome back to more Okami. In the last episode, we got here to the midpoint of the dungeon. Here at the midpoint of the dungeon, we're gonna go over and talk to Susanoo, whom we trailed here to make sure he was okay. Yeah, nothing to do with him being a favorite character. But first, we have a new type of enemy here. These are yellow imps. Awesome timing with the music, if I do say so myself. I like that, just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, enough of my really, really bad musical lack of talents. We're just going to power slash these two green imps. Well, regular imps, rather. They're not even called green imps, they're just imps. They're not even good enough enemies to be given their own color title. Well, I guess at least then people won't be racist toward them. Anyway, yellow imps, you want to get behind them when they come out of the ground and then attack them as much as you can. When he's gray, you can power slash him, but what I'm doing here is I'm just going to attack him, wait for him to do an attack that makes him really vulnerable, which is this. He shoots off a cannon, then he turns gray, and you can just attack him like nuts. And then when he's weak, power slash him, and there's his floral finisher. Not that tough of an enemy, you just have to be behind him when he gets up out of the ground or else he'll do an attack on you. Simple as that, just attack him from behind. And of course, we don't get any sort of prettiness though, because this area is just cursed so badly. And would you believe it if this is the only area in the game that's like that? Well, actually, I take that back. There's other areas in the game that are like this though, but it's really rare. So we're at the first dungeon's the only one where you don't get all the prettiness. What's all that racket? Oh, it's you, mutt. What are you doing here? And before you ask, yes, she does have a butthole animated on her model. All the animals in this game are like that. Don't ask why. It's from Japan. Not looking for apprentices. Anyway, Hana Valley is no place for a mutt like you. Beyond this point lies my secret training ground. It's the perfect place to hide. I love that reaction. Amaterasu has the best facial reaction. I actually compare her a little bit to Wind Waker Link with the way that her reactions are, in a way, because she just has such great reactions to everything. Now, he doesn't want us here, so Isun's saying that this wall painting of the crystal sphere that makes the plants grow. Okay, let's see here. Should be right here. Something's not right. Don't you think there's something missing from the painting? Why, yes I do, and since power slash rejuvenation would be examples of Nintendo logic, and this is not Nintendo, we're going to be drawing the only thing that remains. Process of elimination! Don't get used to it. You're going to have a lot more brush powers as the game goes on. Apparently that rock doesn't like the sun very much. What in heaven's name? How did that happen? You know, Susanoo just destroyed a rock with his sword. Do you think that's what he would have tried to have done there? I mean, obviously it wouldn't have worked because he didn't have us helping him, though, but I don't know. And what does he always say, like, I can go hide? I mean, does he really think that a dog could understand it? Well, wolf, though, but same thing. I guess he just thinks that Isun would. I really don't know. I have no clue why he's just all jumpy like that. But, no, don't bump into the wall. Freaking thing. Stuff. Kind of. Some people have been writing to me about the regular attacking. Like I said, I think in this episode I'll kind of make it a bit more of an effort to explain the timing on the Wii remote that you're supposed to shake to be able to do the attacks. Right over here. This tiny sapling. You can smell the scent of Sakuya coming from it. Okay, well, I guess he did live in her clothes, though, and I guess he kind of did get acclimated to her scent, if you know what I mean. Hoo-hoo. Then use the save mirror. Alright, now for one of my favorite scenes in the game, I guess you could say. Raw! What you doing, Mr. Volcano, now? What now? You foul beast. How did you get in here? Foul beast? I love these things. You have some nerve sneaking into my private training ground. I get the feeling that Sleepy Bear is based off something in mythology, but I was never able to find out what, no matter how much I read up. So if you know, please tell me in the comments. Enough talk! My blade thirsts for battle! Here goes nothing! Susanoo style, Susanoo! That name must have taken him all day to come up with. Sa! No! Susanoo! Now for the Susanoo style, exploding implosion! And that wakes it up for a split second. Probably like, what was that, a breeze? Did somebody leave a draft in here? That'll teach you, you foolish beast. You're no match for my new secret technique. I like he seriously thinks that he killed it. It's just there with a snot bubble. Again, I love Amaterasu's reactions and expressions. She's just awesome. Rest in peace, foul beast. The great warrior Susato condemns the offense, not the offender. What about the offended? And off he goes, off to make a fool out of himself somewhere else in front of another woman. And I like how he soon just yawns there. Okay, so now we are going to get into a mechanic in Okami that I will say sucks. Sleeping like a log. And if you talk to it, sleeping like, well, a bear. Okay. This really sucks. I wish this was programmed better in the game, but alas, it is not. Ball pushing physics. Now, this first one isn't too bad. It really isn't. Like, you kind of lock onto it, and it's not that bad. But just like, oh, actually, I'm doing quite well here, surprisingly. Oh, as soon as I say that, I lose track of the ball. Now, in the later parts of the game, and not too much later, there's going to be ball pushing puzzles, and I warn you, the physics... Get over there. See, that's kind of what I mean. The physics on the ball pushing is horrendous. Ball pushing physics is this game's weakness. Luckily, you're not doing it too much, but I will say that's one thing about this game that really sucks. It should have been programmed better. I mean, it's not enough to ruin the game. It really isn't, but it really could have been worked on more with how many times in the game you do it. And that's a sphere in the painting, so now... They're practically just giving us the solutions to these puzzles now. Well, it's not always like that, don't worry. So this, he bets the sphere is magic. And now, in the sky, we are going to draw the sun. This is one of the guardian saplings that Sakuya told us about, Isun. Yes, it looks just like the one we saw in Shinsu Field. Why is that so hard for you to grasp if it is or isn't one? Who turned out the lights? I like how we can see the stars and a constellation, even though we just drew the sun and reaffirmed the fact that it is daytime. Oh well. I'm just glad because I get a new power. And what was that? The mountains like flashed there for like a second. Anyway, let's not have a double dot failure. Yeah! Okay, admittedly that second dot shouldn't have counted though, but... Okay, here we go. And now you might start noticing a trend here. We had a dragon god, then a rat god, now a monkey god. These are... The 13 brush gods are based off the 12 signs of the zodiac. And yes, I said 13 gods are based off 12 signs of the zodiac. That's because, depending on which region in Asia you're in, the rabbit and the cat in the zodiac can be interchanged, depending on which culture you're talking about. So, each of these gods are going to be based on the 12 signs of the zodiac. Yeah, I don't get it either. Anyway, this is Sakigami. He is one of 3 gods that collectively know a technique known as Green Sprout. He is the god of the bloom part of Green Sprout, which is 1/3 of this element. This will allow us to bring dead plants back to life, hence those plant-related puzzles I was telling you about earlier. And tendrils! I love that effect when you get a new power. Alright, so bloom, like I said, we're going to try using it on this guardian sapling here. Now, when drawing a circle in this game, you want to be really careful, okay? You don't want to draw it all wonky like this, you know, like how I'm kind of like going like inward, making it all wavy. You want to draw the circle fast, and you want to connect it with that dab of paint that's at the start of your stroke when you end it. You know, this area that's kind of highlighted on the screen right now, which I'm doing in editing magic. And we have restored nature's beauty to Hana Valley. Something you might have noticed in that pre-rendered cutscene that was really, really pronounced was that it looked kind of grainy. That's actually, some of you have been commenting saying that my video quality goes up and down, it looks different during the cutscenes. that is actually not graininess of the video quality. In the PS2 version of this game, the graphics look like they were printed on parchment paper. In the Wii version, this is a lot less pronounced. So that's because of that, the pre-rendered cutscenes tend to look a lot different than the gameplay in this version of the game. So that's not something that's related to the video quality. I just thought I'd say that right now. Anyway, now that we have restored Hana Valley to the way it's supposed to look like, there's something that we want to do here, and it's not get into a battle, but unfortunately we couldn't avoid doing that anyway. I guess I could take the time during this fight to explain this. Admittedly, it's something that I should have explained back in the first episode that I've kind of been lazy about because I thought people might get it on their own. But at the end of battles, you are ranked based on how much time you take and how much damage you take. It's pretty simple. A cherry blossom means you did the best you possibly do. A regular tree means you did pretty good. A tree that's growing means you did okay. A little tiny sapling means you didn't do very well. And a little dead sapling means you did horrendously. All ranks do is just that you get a bigger bonus of yen at the end of the fight. And like I said, all fighting does is give you money. It doesn't make you any stronger. So really, you don't have to get good ranks if you don't want a lot of money. That's really all it's for. And it is yet another example of video games teaching kids the truth that killing yields money. Hooray for that. Maybe. I am really morbid every now and again, aren't I? What it is that we want to do here, after defeating that battle, we are going to get this. I'm not sure I have the proper feed bags for those guys, but luckily for us, I think one of the pots that's nearby actually has the correct food for them. Let me just see if I do or not. Animals won't accept any food except for what's meant for them. Oh, okay, they eat seeds. That's good. What we want to do is we want to feed all the animals in this area, and you want to use bloom on all the trees. It's definitely good practice, but you want to use bloom on all the trees, though, because there's a special reward for you if you completely restore Hana Valley back to the way it's supposed to be, all the plants included. And yes. Okay, you actually went... Hisun went over this in the last video. Oh, did I... No, I didn't do it right. There is the feedback, by the way. Ow! God, I got punched by a tree. That's... Ow. Twice. Alright, throw your dang fruit at me. Okay, power slash it back, and then when it's stunned, use bloom on it. And I didn't draw a complete circle there. That's my fault. Okay, there we go. Drew a complete circle on it, and now we're going to get into the other mechanic of bloom, and that is putting it together with rejuvenation. We can use the power of bloom to fill it in. All we do, we just scribble in. When you see that little smoke on the tip of your brush, like you should, if you didn't see it, go back and rewind the video. That tells you if your brush is on top of something you can interact with. It's a great idea to look for that. If you don't look for that, you're gonna have a much harder time drawing stuff. And because we were on a patch of ground that we can bring back, we could do that. Here it's just gonna tell you that you can put dots in the ground and it will create trees that will confuse enemies. It's actually kind of good for distracting those yellow imps. If you want to use it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut ahead to when I've restored all the plants in here, so I will see you guys once I have done that. And now that we have bloomed all the trees, we get a secret chest. No, it is not Sakuya's. But before we go do that, that island that tried to appear before we destroyed those monsters here in the front, it will appear now, and here there's a clover. Clovers are kind of a staple of this game. You see glowing spots in the ground, you dig them up, there's clovers inside. You get digging tips, which I just showed you. You dig by repeatedly pressing the C button, just like I said before. Before we go get that chest, though, a little bit of a secret over here, if you want to swim over to it. There is this other glowing spot here in the darkness. These clovers are based off of the logo for the company that made this game, Clover Studio. If you would like to know about other games that Clover Studios made, if you might like this one, they made the Beautiful Joe games after the first one. They also ported Beautiful Joe 1 to the PS2, and they also made God Hand. Clover Studio was a subsidiary of Capcom that was made to produce third-party games with first-party budgets. Unfortunately, the experiment wasn't too great of a success, and they shut down. However, Capcom still retains the rights to Okami to this day, and are currently bringing out a sequel that's supposed to come out here next year. It's called Okami for the DS. But anyway, let's go ahead and get that chest before I ramble on about Clover Studios' history any further, because that's pretty much the gist of it. Here we get a sun fragment, aka a piece of heart. You collect 3 of them, you get another unit of health. That's basically how it works. Anyway, though, now that we have completely restored Hana Valley, there is one final thing that we want to do. very last thing in Hana Valley, after this tunnel where you fought those monsters at the beginning, you want to dig here. It's more noticeable at nighttime. You can dig it up during the day, it's just more noticeable at nighttime, but here, we have a stray bead. And now that we've collected that, we now have 100% completion in Hana Valley. So, we're going to end things off here. Next time on Let's Play Okami, we are going to return to Shinsu Field and hopefully be able to restore nature to it. Alright? See you guys then. Real quick at the end of this video, it's no big deal. I thought I should point out something that people have been commenting about every so often, is that it's actually Amaterasu. I just say Amaterasu because it's really hard for me to roll my R's when I speak quickly because of just the way that my accent is, I guess you could say. So, yeah, that's actually how it should be said by a proper Japanese speaker, but unfortunately I'm not. But I am doing my best to pronounce these names, though, but just excuse me because I'm not an otaku. Alright, whatever. See you guys next time.